Hello, my name is Fenna. Welcome to the Self-Compassion channel. And are you in grief or are you in disenfranchised grief? And what I mean by that is disenfranchised grief is unentitled grief. Society or your surrounding or you yourself don't acknowledge the grief. And you see this in affairs, in gay relationships, in short-term relationships, or in online dating and so on. Somehow you don't have the feeling or the acknowledgement that you are allowed to grieve. And like I said before, limerence is not a disease, it's not an illness, it's a temporary state, altered state, where stress, grief and being in love combine due to circumstances, timing, very important, and hormones. And some people wonder, am I in grief or is there something else going on? Am I just really depressed, or do I have OCD, or is what's happening here? Well, chances are big that you're in grief. And we're going to find that out. Limerence and grief, having a hard time letting go, detaching is really difficult. Detaching when Mother Nature wants you to attach. It's all part of a limerent episode. And sometimes people don't know that they're in grief and therefore it confuses them and they don't acknowledge the grief. They don't understand what's going on. They think that maybe they have something else, or a clinical depression, or can be radio things. And of course, I don't know, but depression is a natural part of a grief state, and grief comes with a limerent episode. So I collected a few questions to see if there's a chance that you are in fact in grief. I also put them below the video. There are 15 questions. They are quick. I'm not getting really into the questions that much because I think they speak for themselves. And of course, if you recognize them, if the majority of the questions you have to answer yes, the chances are that you are in grief, which is actually good news because then you know it will pass. 15 questions, statements. Number 1, are you thinking a lot about what happened, how things ended? This occupies your mind several times per day, maybe. Number 2, you have intense feeling of pain. Number 3, you have an intense longing to have any form of contact with this person. Number 4, you kind of question how you relate to life. What's your purpose? What's next? What's your future going to be? Number 5, you have a hard time accepting and letting go. You bargain, you wiggle, you think of strategies to not accept. It's the denial and bargain phase of grief. You're not moving on yet. Number 6, you avoid places and things that remind you of the other. Number 7, you can feel bitter, wronged, mistreated, and angry towards the ending. Number 8, you feel like numbing yourself. That can be with a range of things. Number 9, your life feels grey and empty. Number 10, when realization sets in, even if that's sometimes for brief moments, you feel shock. You can experience physical reactions. It's almost like a panicky feeling. Number 11, functioning at home or at work costs you extra energy. You are tired to keep everything together. Number 12, you have a hard time remembering the good times, even when there were good times. You're not there yet. Number 13, you blame yourself for certain things. Like, I should have said that, or I should have done this, or I should have left earlier, or you blame yourself for certain things. Number 14, you think about the what ifs. how life could have been. I made a video on that, on counterfactual thinking, because you don't know how life would have been. Number 15, you feel more alone and distant towards others. Maybe it's more exhausting to be in company of others for a longer period of time. Is your answer yes to the majority of this question? It can be a sign that you are, in fact, in grief, which is kind of a good sign, because that means that that process is still going on, you're still detaching, you're still processing, and it didn't stagnate. You know, things will get better after the detaching is done. And don't underestimate detaching. Even when you think, yeah, but I only, kind of been with this person for a couple of months. That doesn't matter to your nerve system. Attaching is the most important aspect of a human being. And I think a lot of people walk around with grief and they don't know that they are in grief. They know that they're not okay. That's for sure. Of course, if you have the feeling that something out of the ordinary is going on, please seek help. I don't know you, I don't know your situation, I don't know how you normally feel, I don't know your family history, I'm not a psychiatrist. Please seek help if you think, I don't know about this. I really want to have a talk with somebody about this. So there might be a chance that I'm in grief. So now what? Well, first of all, acknowledge the grief and know that there is absolutely no timeline for grief. You know how that's super annoying, but in general, people hope and think that the grief will fade more quickly than it does in reality. So keep that in mind. Grieving takes a tremendous amount of time. And it's total bullshit to say, oh yeah, in 3 months you will probably be over this. You have to be over this in 3 months. No, you're over it when you're over it. And that depends, the length of it, the depth and the length of it depends on so many factors. But please give it time, don't rush it. And of course it helps to acknowledge the grief by practicing self-compassion. Of course, I hope by now you know the 3 pillars of self-compassion. It's quite easy to do. Number 1, just state what you feel. Nothing more, nothing less. Just say it out loud together with me. I feel sad, I feel confused, I feel, gray or a little bit numb or disconnected. And sometimes really angry, and can be all kind of things. And of course, feelings can live together. I can be sad and hopeful at the same time. Number 2 is find the common humanity. Yeah, people grieve. Everybody on earth grieves. At least I hope so, because it's really healthy. Detaching is not weird, and having strong feelings around detachment is really what makes us human. Like I state, everybody on earth can end up in a Limerence episode when the circumstances and the timing are wrong. Number 3 is make a friendly sentence. What would you say to a friend? Grief will pass, it hurts, give it time, things like that. If you want to go to bed early, go to bed early. You're in grief. You're allowed. You're in a disaltered state, and it costs a lot of energy, and your body and mind are working really hard when you are in grief. If you have anything to say about this subject or this channel, or even about my blinking, somebody commented and asked me, why do you blink so much? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't have an answer to that. I didn't know I did that, by the way. Please leave a comment below. And for now, I want to thank you for watching my videos, and I hope to see you in another video. Bye.